Molweni and welcome to the Conversations with Nkosi YouTube channel. This is the news commentary section where I'll be offering insightful news commentary while exploring the different perspectives on the stories that shape our world. In today's video, we'll be uncovering the unfolding drama surrounding Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula, the South African Parliamentary Speaker. Stay tuned as we get into the shocking events that have catapulted her into the spotlight. Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula is a South African politician who served as the 7th Speaker of the National Assembly from August 2021 until her resignation on the 3rd of April this year. She was a cabinet minister from 2004 to 2021. And she was also, the Minister of Defense and Military Veterans between June 2012 and August 2021. Mama was also an elected member of the National Executive Committee of the African National Congress between 2002 and 2022, and is also a former president of the ANC Women's League. Now, Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula, a prominent figure in South African politics, finds herself swimming in the waters, of a scandal that could potentially change the course of her career forever. Accused of corruption and facing imminent arrest, her once prestigious position hangs in the balance. Now, how did this powerful figure fall from grace so dramatically? Let's get into it. South Africa's parliamentary speaker faces imminent arrest over corruption charges after a court on Tuesday dismissed her bid to block police and prosecutors from arresting her. Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula, who is a senior member of the ruling African National Congress Party, is accused of receiving bribes from a defense contractor while she was defense minister. According to prosecutors, she received 11 payments totaling to $135,000 between December 2016 and July 2019. She sought another bribe of $105,000, but that wasn't paid. Prosecutors said opposition lawmakers have called for her to step down from her position as Speaker over the allegations. Mapisa Nqakula last week launched an urgent court bid to block her arrest, but a judge at the North Gauteng High Court in Pretoria dismissed her application on Tuesday. Speaking to reporters after the judgment was delivered, National Prosecuting Authority spokesman Nkosi did not say when the arrest would be made, but confirmed the judgment paved the way for it to occur. Obviously, the wheels of justice will now be in motion as we were listening to the judgment, which was well-reasoned, Mhaka said. Guys, the article can be accessed via the AP News website. Let's get into the next one. Less than 24 hours after resigning as the Speaker of the National Assembly, the corruption-accused Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula made her first appearance in the Pretoria Magistrates Court to face 12 charges of corruption and 1 charge of money laundering. The charges leveled against Mapisa Nqakula include allegedly soliciting bribes from a contractor to the tune of 4.55 million rand between 2017 and 2019, while she was defense minister. In March, the Sunday Times reported that an investigation by the Independent Directorate found Mapisa Nqakula allegedly received 2.3 million rand in cash delivered in gift bags by defense businessperson Nombasa Ntsondwa-Ndlovu. Ntsondwa-Ndlovu is married to a general in the Military Health Service. The highly anticipated court appearance comes after Mapisa Nqakula's High Court bid to interdict her arrest failed earlier this week, forcing her to hand herself over to the police at Lilliton Police Station earlier on Thursday morning. In handing down the ruling that struck Mapisa Nqakula's urgent application to interdict the arrest, Judge Potterell said the Mapisa Nqakula had been given ample time to present herself to the police station, but had failed to do so for 2 weeks. Mapisa Nqakula entered courtroom 8 in the Pretoria Magistrates Court to be greeted by a full gallery. Her husband, Charles Nqakula, and former National Assembly Speaker Baleka Mbete sat in the first row of courtroom 8 in a show of support for Mapisa Nqakula. Mbete, who's no stranger to controversy herself has previously spoken out in defense of Mapisa Nqakula, saying the corruption allegations leveled against her were part of a vendetta to discredit Mapisa Nqakula. After entering the courtroom and taking her place on the dock, Mapisa Nqakula flashed an appreciative smile at her husband and Mbete. The state claimed that it would not oppose bail, but since Nqakula is being charged with the Schedule 5 offense, the onus is on her to prove why she should be granted bail. In her affidavit, read out by the former Speaker's lawyer, Graham Kerr Phillips, Mapisa Nqakula argued that she was not a flight risk. She claimed she would lose her state pension if she evaded her trial, while she could not afford. The former speaker added that her handing herself over to the police earlier this morning was evidence of her belief in the rule of law and further indication that she had no plans to flee. Mapisa Nqakula insisted that her imprisonment would negatively affect the well-being of her family and that her release on bail would pose no threat to justice, adding, "I do not pose a risk to the state should I be released." Mapisa Nqakula said the search and seizure at her home yielded no evidence of the corruption allegation leveled against her. She also claimed that the prosecution had a weak case. In addition to her case, Mapisa Nqakula claimed South African prisons are riddled with gangs and claimed that the facilities do not have the capability to ensure her safety. The embattled former speaker pointed to inadequate ablution facilities and healthcare as further evidence as to why she should not be imprisoned. "My client suffers from dangerous hypertension. She's on medication which she constantly needs, and if it is not provided to her when she needs it, the situation could be life-threatening," Kerr Phillips added. In response to Mapisa Nqakula's affidavit, prosecutor Bheki Manyati said the state would not oppose the bail application. Manyati said the state considered the fact that Mapisa Nqakula handed herself over, her age, and her health condition when deciding not to oppose bail. While Mapisa Nqakula has thrown in the hat as Speaker of the National Assembly, the embattled politician said that her resignation was by no means an admission of guilt. Kerr Phillips appealed to Magistrate Anna Westhuizen to release his client on 50,000 rand bail given Mapisa Nqakula's status as a pensioner. The state, on the other hand, is pursuing 100,000 rand bail. After a short recess, Magistrate Westhuizen granted Mapisa Nqakula 50,000 rand bail, stating that the court is satisfied that the accused made her case as to why she should be released. "The court is satisfied that the applicant is not a flight risk," said Westhuizen. Manyati told the court that the state requested that Mapisa Nqakula hand her passport over to the investigating officer by 6 p.m. Monday, 8 April. The state's second condition was for Mapisa Nqakula not to contact any of the witnesses in the case. Magistrate Westhuizen agreed to the conditions set by the state based on additional evidence recovered from Nqakula's property during the search and seizure. Manyati revealed that the state would be adding a second accused to the matter. The state prosecutor did not reveal the individual's identity. The matter has been postponed till 4 June. Guys, this article can be accessed via the Daily Maverick, but also there's more than one media house that is actually covering the story. Now, before we end this video, I have a few questions. No? Firstly, seeing that, she respected the ANC step-aside rule, will all the other accused do the same, or is that reserved for Cupcake's non-faves? I mean, let us not forget the fact that Mam Nosiviwe was the same minister who denounced, Cupcake's lie with regards to the July riots. I don't know if you guys remember, but she came back to clear the air and said there was nothing that showed signs of an insurrection, even after the president came out and publicly admitted to it being so. There's still that. There's that. And then two, that question alone brings us back to what Umambale Mbete said about this being more of like, an attack on her character and her credibility as a leader. But then again, guys, you know, you know, and the thing is, with all due respect, Mambaleka Mbete herself is a very controversial figure. So, in as much as shame, she's supporting Ichomi Yake Apa, her pointing towards the fact that this could be an attack on Nosiviwe's character, um, adds more weight to, this conversation about ANC senior leaders, running away from accountability, shying away from accountability, and yet they claim to be ambassadors of the truth or advocates of anti-corruption and an end, so it's just a red flag on its own. But then again, like Umam Nosiv was saying, she claims she's not guilty. So we'll see. And I mean, the NPA and how it works, will the NPA actually pull this off and debunk the narrative going around about their inability to discipline those who abuse their power and misuse state resources for their own personal gain, seeing that they are yet to look into Lamula and the Thabo Bester saga, or how our state-owned enterprises have decayed under the watch of Pravin, not forgetting Patricia Mashale's utterances on Qele's involvement in shady dealings. Also, I hope they don't think that this is going to shift our focus from the Pala Pala Farm Gate saga, because that on its own is still a can of worms that is waiting to be picked. So I don't know. Could it be that Nosiviwe bit off more than she could chew when she began to sing songs that, Pravin and Cupcake dislike?
With that being said, as details of the prompt charges emerge, the public is left wondering how a figure of such stature could be implicated in such a scandal. The intricacies of the case, the web of deceit, and the potential ramifications of this high-profile arrest have sent ripples of uncertainty across South Africa. We cannot shy away from the fact that she chose to step aside, unlike her peers, who also have similar allegations but chose to turn a blind eye. I am just baffled by how the ANC dealt with this one. In closing, the saga surrounding Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of power and the consequences of unchecked corruption. As the world watches with bated breath, we will continue to monitor the developments of this unfolding story and bring you the latest updates.
That marks the end of today's video. Thank you so much for lending your eyes and ears. I hope that you found today's video informative. Please do not forget to click on that subscription button or light the notification bell so that you do not miss out on any new uploads. Nkosi.